Hello everyone, welcome back to Golden Orb Studios, and today we're going to be using Materialize and Blender to be creating some PBR textures. Alright, so what you want to do first, so there's a link in the description. You want to click on the link and go to the Materialize website. And then if you have Windows, I don't believe it is Mac supported, unfortunately. But I'm on Windows, so you can just click this right here. I've already got it downloaded, so I don't want to download it twice. Just open that right up. It'll take a second. Alright, so a PBR texture, if you've never heard of it before, you take a regular just picture that you take, or one that you take off the internet, and then what we're trying to do is give it the visual qualities of the physical, actual object in real life. So the base is to give it photorealistic qualities by giving it, making it look a little bit more 3D and giving it some, making it shine where it's supposed to shine, or give it metallic if it's supposed to be metal, stuff like that. So what we want to do, and before I continue, you can download this folder in the link. So just open that up and you'll see there's some city textures, and we'll just be using these today. And let's go back into Materialize. And so sometimes the color map, you'll notice it's called diffuse map. It's kind of weird, I'm not sure why. It's called diffuse map. But let's open up our diffuse map. So let's click the O for open, and I just put mine on my desktop, and there it is right there, city. And let's do this one. You can do whichever one you want, but if you want to follow along, I'm going to be doing this one. Alright, so I don't usually use height maps. Usually it takes up too much time for rendering, and I'm okay with normal maps. It gets the job done. But in order to make a normal map, we have to create a height map. So let's click create. And the black is what will be going in to it, and then the white is what will be poking out. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Well, let's just create, and then I'll show you what I'm talking about, and we can adjust it later. So you'll see, so you'll see where there was that black from before. That black, that's what's going in, and what was white is poking out. So it gives it kind of a 3D effect. And this is looking pretty good. We might just tweak it just a little bit. Let's click create again. And maybe let's just tweak this a little bit. I'm going to make it go up to 0.08. Let's try that. And I'd say that's looking pretty good. Alright, and now let's create our normal map. So let's go over here to normal map, create, and then you'll see a purple map like this. Create, set. Alright, there we go. Now it should work. Alright, there we go. So it's not poking out as much before, but you can kind of see there's some 3D aspect to it. Alright, so so these windows are supposed to be shiny like glass. So there's not really any metal, let's ignore that. Smoothest, that's what we're looking for. Other known as like roughness map. So we're going to create. Alright, so I just messed around with a few of the settings. And if you want to copy the settings that I used, so you want it to kind of look like this. Like you want what you want to be shiny and a white, stuff like that. And so you see I have the metal smoothest 0.65. I used color sample 2, and then base smoothest 0.1, sample blur size 0, high pass blur size 30, high pass overlay minus 8.25, final contrast 1.32, and final bias 0048. And then you should get something like that, and then click set as smoothness, show full material, and then if you come down here you can click cube, and then that can kind of be like you're looking at the building. So now the next step is to just export these. So you want to click, we already have the diffuse map, so you don't want to save the diffuse map, but we want the normal map and the smoothness map. So we're going to click save, and then we're just going, that's this one right here, so we're just going to type in 43 under normal. Alright, and select, and then we're going to do the same for the smoothness. Let's do 43 under, and then we're going to call it roughness, because that's normally what it's called. Alright, we just close out of this, and close that, and then I already have Blender open. Go ahead and open Blender, and we can just keep that. So once you have Blender open, just click the cube, and go to the material down here, and then we already have, never mind, we want to make one, click new, and we're going to call this 43 city. Alright, and then if you take your cursor, come all the way up until it makes the cross, drag it out, and then come up here, and if you push the S, it'll go to the shader, click N, get rid of that, and then middle mouse to pan. Alright, so we have this. And what we actually want to do, if you don't have this already, is go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and type in Node Wrangler. I already have it ticked, but if you don't, just tick it, and save preferences, and close that. So what the Node Wrangler is going to let us do is if you click on this, and then if you click Control Shift T, it opens that up. And let's go to our folder where we save that stuff, which is desktop, and then it's called city. Alright, and here we go. And we did 43. And so you want to click the color, control click, and control click our normal roughness. And then principal texture setup. And this will automatically set up our PBR texture. Now sometimes it doesn't work. As you can see here, it didn't import our roughness. So let's just Shift D, duplicate our normal texture, and then open up our roughness and leave that as non-color. And then color to roughness. And apparently we already had our roughness, we just need our color. There we go. And then that's RGB like we want. And then plug this into base color. And right now we can't see anything because we need to click C and material preview. And let it load, except we have that one. Alright. So let's make this look more like a building. Let's click the side, see a side view, click G, Z, scale up, middle mouse, and then tab, click 3, select the face, G and Z, let's make it tall like a building, and then the UVs aren't looking that great, so let's go up to here, and let's click U, and then once we tab, click on this, tab back in edit mode, we can see what it looks like. So just go back over here, click A, that selects it all, and then let's just do U and cube projection. That's looking better. Alright, so what we want to do now, it's also looking pretty shiny. I think what we want to do I kind of messed up on the roughness map. So let's just kind of modify this, let's tell it where we want it to affect it. So drag out a color from the roughness and type in color ramp. It's not right. Color ramp. Let's just go to that. And then color into roughness. And let's just edit this a little bit. Do Control Shift, hold Control Shift at the same time, and click. Alright, and now we can see what is being affected. So this is what our normal map looked like, and then we can go ahead and adjust as needed. You know, let's just get rid of the roughness in the map we made, that's just a mess, and use the color. Alright, there we go. So, just let that load. Alright, that is looking better. So it's the black that will look shiny. So we want to make it needs to be a good roughness map, should be contrasting, so the computer knows what to make shiny and what to not. So that's looking pretty good. That's looking shiny. And then there's that hideous top, but heck, who doesn't want to live on a sideways building? Alright, so if you didn't, like if your UVs were kind of looking like this, like you can see they're like the windows kind of cut in half, that's kind of weird. So what you want to do is just select all of them and then click A to select all of this and just kind of scale it until it's perfect. You can also do SY, scale it that way. If the windows are like too short or too tall, you can like stretch it out to how it's supposed to be. Alright, you can also just edit like the individual faces. If it's like you can select the sides and then like edit it how you need to. Just more precise editing. And then let's just select the top, make it look a little nicer. So select the top, click I to make it look like this, and then E to extrude, just make it go down a little bit. It's looking like the top of the building. Now we don't want the top to look like that, so let's click the top and just scale this all the way down. Let's make it look like crap. Then let's click the corner while clicking Alt. So if you click the corner while holding Alt, you can select both sides, and if you do Shift Alt, you can do that again with that. So let's make it look crappy again, just around like that, and you can use this over here and see if it's in the window. You can see the window showing up. It's just on the concrete, so alright, and now that's looking like a pretty good building. So let's get this set up for rendering. Let's just duplicate this a couple of times. So go to the top view, do Shift D, Shift D again, Shift D again, just randomly place it. And if you really want to, you can, let's see. So you don't want to, if you want to scale these, make them different sizes, you don't want to just like do S, Z, otherwise that's weird, it's just floating in there, UVs are all wonky, but that's kind of confusing. So let's just select one of them. I want to make this one shorter. Do Control I, invert that selection, push H to hide it, click again, side view, and then tab, do Z, wireframe, select the top. So now you can just hold the top and scale it as you want. Let's just scale it down a little bit. Alright, And then let's just bring back one of the cities for a comparison and just select this whole building. Well, we don't want the whole thing. We just want to hold Alt in the corner again like we did before, so we can get the sides. And then let's just do S and Y because we need to make these windows like they were before. And then you can also do G and Y, move it up a little bit, S and Y again, and let's just take some tweaking. Alright, it's looking pretty good. Alright, and now the UVs are correct, so it's not all squashed and weird like that. So let's bring them all back. Alright, and then let's just get an HDRI. I'll have the link for it in the description. So you just want to, let me show you how to do that. So you go to Environment, or the World Settings right here. Click Color, this little yellow button. Then you want to come over here to Environment Texture, Open. I have a folder for all my HDRIs. And I just want to open up a city HDRI. And then once you got that opened up, position the camera in the way you want it. I was going to do it like this, but then I decided it would look better the other way. Just your own personal preference. And then when you're ready, just click render, and here's the finished product.